Hello, I'm Maraid and I'm a part of the Foster Strong team. And we wanted to start making some videos to share our experiences and offer any advice that we have about growing up in the system. This is my first video, so bear with me. But today I wanted to talk about why I tell my story today. For the longest time, I was so embarrassed to tell anybody that I grew up in foster care. And I mean, I'm sure that my peers already knew, but I can't even describe like the shame that I would feel when foster kid or foster care got mentioned when talking about me. Honestly, I think that it's like a similar feeling to outing somebody who hasn't come to terms with their sexual identity yet. Because I hadn't come to terms with being separated from my family and moving around from a bunch of different new families and new homes, and then still having to go to school and act like everything was okay. Um, but then one day, the agency where I did all of my required therapy was hosting a dinner for all of the girls around my age that grew up in foster care to tell their story to some of famous Hollywood writers and directors. And I went probably because my parents forced me, but it turned out that I was pretty good at telling my story because I ended up working with these writers and director as a consultant. And so that was really exciting. But I guess like the glamour of Hollywood and being on the big screen and like potentially getting paid a lot, like that just removed all of the anxieties for me to tell my story. But then they made a movie, and there came time for like the press and the interviews, and I knew that there would be articles with my name and foster care in the same sentence, that all of my friends that I grew up with and everybody could see, and that scared me a little bit. But I wasn't ashamed anymore because by telling my story, I finally realized my strength. And I may have felt sad or scared or lonely as a kid in the system, but I still pushed through every single day. I still made it to where I am today. And so that's what Foster Strong is to me. And I think it's so crazy how like society labels these kids as weak or helpless when actually that's the furthest from the truth. We're as strong as they come. So I guess I'm just saying this for the kids who feel the same way that I did and to encourage them to share their stories.